Hey guys, what's up? So the next story I'm going to be reading is 885. This is called The Mermaid Song. Ever since I was a little boy, I had this fascination with mermaids. They look so beautiful in the water. This is an enchanting love story about a fisherman and his wife, and how he goes off into the ocean with his crew. During this, his wife gets sick, and he is stuck in a storm. A mermaid saves him. There's a lot more to it. You'll see. The Mermaid Song. Once there lived a fisherman that lived in a little cabin by the sea, beside a lighthouse. The view was always so beautiful. One cold winter, he told his pregnant wife he had to go off with his crew to catch fish, shrimp, lobster, even better, shark. For it was what he sold in the food market. Off he went. As weeks went by, the fisherman went further and further into the ocean with his crew. In the meanwhile, the wife caught a severe cold. The maid phoned the doctor immediately. He made a house visit and gave her some medicine, urging the maid to give it to the wife every single day until she'd get better. So that is what she did. One day the maid got up really early, heading to the market, hoping to be back on time to give her the medicine. The wife woke up from the bed and went to the stairs. She felt so weak that she slipped and fell. Down she went. When she felt her stomach with her hands, there was blood. She screamed with agony as tears fell from her eyes. Miles and miles away, the fishermen and the crew were reeling in the dozens of fish, shrimp, crabs, even some baby sharks. All of them rejoiced, especially the fisherman, knowing that he would be able to take care of his family. He looked into the distance and noticed clouds were starting to get dark, as if there was a storm rolling in. The other men warned him to turn around. He also thought it was for the best, for it was time to get back to his family. When the doctor told the wife she had lost her baby, a sudden sadness came to her. She and her husband were trying so many years to have an infant, and now it was taken away from her. The maid apologized to her, but the wife was so filled with sadness and anger, she had to let her go. Days went by, and she waited for her husband to come back. Her heart was so broken. There was nights that she even lit the light of the lighthouse, directing him to come back home, crying hysterically, waiting for him to come home, but nothing. She couldn't take it anymore, so one day she threw herself out the very top of the lighthouse, killing herself. The fisherman and his crew got stuck in the storm. It was so heavy, and the violent waves didn't make it any easier. While all this commotion, the fisherman also heard a beautiful voice of a woman singing. There was one huge wave that overlapped and made them all go under. The water was so cold, most of them separated. A few of them drowned, but the fisherman was saved. The next morning, he woke up by the water to exactly where he lived. He had no idea how he got there. He ran inside the house, and that was the day he found out the horrible news of his baby and his wife. As years went by, the fisherman never went back to sea. He blamed the ocean. He blamed himself. He blamed the world for the loss of his wife. No one knew him as a fisherman anymore, but the angry man. One day, when he was at the lighthouse looking at the water from above, he heard that voice again. He was trying to remember where it came from. He looked in the distance with a pair of binoculars and saw a splash in the still water. He finally came down the lighthouse, but the melody didn't stop. It was then when he realized when he heard this. It was the day of the storm. The voice was so beautiful, it put him in a magical trance. He, not knowing, got in one of the rowboats and got into it and started sailing. The moon was bright, the stars were out, and he just stood there as the melody stopped. He had no idea what he was doing in the middle of the ocean. He was about to turn around when he heard a splash. He looked in the direction as he saw a woman appear, her hair wet, with the most beautiful green eyes. At first, he thought she was naked. He got closer and realized what she was. But this cannot be. Creatures like you are only in myths. His mouth dropped in shock. He couldn't say a word, but she just kept swimming around the boat, singing. He was falling deeper and deeper in love with her by the minute. What he didn't know was she was already in love with him. She was the one that saved him and brought him back. A long time ago, a sea witch cursed her, making the man of her dreams fall in love with another woman. It also prevented the mermaid, no matter how love the strong beat, to never be human. However, there were other ways. She stopped singing and they spoke. He opened about his wife, and she told him that she saved him. She also told him about the witch and how he was the love of her life. He smiled. He never thought he would love again, not like this. All of a sudden, a whirlpool began to form. He grabbed the paddles and was about to head back home when she grabbed his hand. Come with me. He looked confused. I can't. She removed the necklace she had around her neck with a shell on it. As long as you have this around your neck, we can be together. The fisherman looked back at this lighthouse and the cabin, and then back at her. He had to choose between his past and the mermaid. He put his hand on hers as she pulled him in the water, as the whirlpool kept going round and round. As this happened, they kissed, and the water lifted up and then came crashing down. Never ever throw love back into the ocean. No matter how much pain there is in your heart, love is as strong as a mermaid's song. Its magic will make you love again, erasing all the sorrow you've ever felt.